Welcome to Beam Foam Gaming. And this is our review of
GRAVIFIRE.
I'd like to thank the publisher for providing me a review copy of the game prior to its release. It was developed by
Potata
and published by Sometimes You for the price of $4.99. But if you jump on the pre-order option right now, you can score 20% off and get it for $3.99.
So nice.
GRAVIFIRE is an old-school 2D logic puzzler game that takes a lot of inspiration from classic Sokoban puzzles, where the player is usually put into a cramped environment and forced to move boxes around designated locations. Which sounds kind of familiar. Where have we seen this before?
Dad, you just did a video on Dungeons and Bombs last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. You mean this video? Okay, GRAVIFIRE. You've got some pretty big shoes to fill. Let's see how you rate. D&B pulled 1.5 beans out of the farm. I'll admit, I'm a sucker for the black, purple, and green color scheme. Just look at my studio. At the core, the game follows all the basic Sokoban rules, grid-based tank movements with the ability to push blocks, but not pull them back. No rewind feature here, guys. The basic game design has been done countless times over the years with the thought of slogging through 50 small pixelated single-screen box puzzles makes me want to get out your bowl of strawberry laxatives for ya creep.
Ew, yucky.
So why in 2021 should we play a box pushing simulator on modern consoles when the file size, graphical requirements, and gameplay could easily be emulated on this? So, it seems Potata was ahead of me on my criticisms by naming the game GRAVIFIRE.
GRAVIFIRE.
Beyond pushing boxes, each map has a gravitational field that you control with your right thumbstick.
Ooh, so you're telling me I can play the game with both thumbsticks?
Yeah, that's right, baby. But that's about all you're getting. GRAVIFIRE is only controlled by 2 thumbsticks.
Sweet, a new twin-stick shooter for me to tear up.
No, not exactly. Although the gameplay element does change the traditional game of Sokoban into something a bit more interesting, it doesn't do quite enough to inspire my kids to put down the king of children's games.
We want Minecraft! Michael.
As we saw with last week's box pushing game, this is another game with minimal control schemes that would be great for anyone looking for a game that would work well with an accessibility controller like the adaptive controller, or someone who just enjoys spending hours staring at a static screen trying to think of 15 moves ahead like some weird box pushing chess game.
Nice.
The 15 achievements came fairly quickly as they're spread out over 50 levels, which are awarded for level progression about every 5 levels or so, none of which are missable. The publisher Sometimes You has a track record for putting out easy achievement games, and this one finds itself to be no different.
Very nice.
Just like last week's game, the levels are static and can be completed using standardized walkthroughs, much like Cheetah's video guide right here. Even with the constant ping of achievements ringing through my ears, GRAVIFIRE does not bring enough variety to hold my attention long enough through the constant barrage of box pushing and slamming boxes against walls and space stations. I swear each room is just the same room, just rearranged.
Nå, det var den så der tog os. Hvor det?
Potata prepared for this and added a nice twist of lasers and buttons halfway through the game to add some sort of variety and increase the difficulty in the latter levels. This increased difficulty and number of steps needed to memorize to solve each level just pushed me into bringing out this guy.
Brainbuster.
The soundtrack and sound effects were standard fare for chipset tunes and managed to repeat themselves until I found my headphones and started up a nice podcast.
Hey, it's Larry Herb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson.
Although GRAVIFIRE has a few tricks up its sleeve, it's really not enough to evolve the game much past the original concept. Although the increased level of challenge was certainly there, my motivation was not, as completing one room rewarded me with another. My criticisms almost completely matched last week's review. No power-ups, no secret rooms, no Easter eggs or thinking outside the box.
Yapple.
Once again, achievement and trophy hunters will jump over this low price completion as it should take less than an hour with a decent text guide. So enjoy your cheap gamer store. I do not see much more than a single playthrough as there's little to no replay value. GRAVIFIRE does push the ball a little farther, but not by much. Therefore, GRAVIFIRE gets 2 beans out of 5.
Flub-a-da-flub-a-da-flub.